Hello there, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Course in the Car. This is the last ego on earth. My name is James Scott Shoemaker, and we're headed to the grocery store again. And I thought I would talk to my soul brothers and sisters today. So I hope everybody's finding themselves well wherever they are. Today, I thought I would go over fear. I know fear is one of the main subjects in the Course in Miracles, and I think it's very prevalent for today. I do know when I had fear, and I still do from time to time, of course, but back in the day, I was really a frightful person inside. The Course has given me a chance to let that go, and it's as simple as handing it over to Jesus or to Holy Spirit. Sounds easier said than done, I guess, huh? Sometimes fear can be so deep within us, inside of our head, inside of our mind, that we don't think that there's any way out. But there truly is, and it's through asking for that higher self, or Holy Spirit, that we can get out of the nightmare. The nightmares that we're in. If you turn on the TV today, about 20, 30 things are going to be thrown at you, keeping you in a fear state. So, number one, I would highly recommend just turning the TV off. It doesn't mean that you don't need to maybe peek in every now and then at what the world's doing, but don't keep it on 24/7 just staring at it, because it is one of the tools of the ego to get you in a fear state. It's one of its biggest tricks, I believe. A lot of times, since we are one giant ego, the ego likes to separate, and that tool is definitely one that keeps you separated. You've got commercials telling you that you're going to die of sicknesses. You've got the media telling you that your brothers aren't your brothers and sisters. You've got, everything. They did it over there. No one's to blame but them. The Course teaches that fear, number one, is not real. But number two, that fear is stemming from us inside. The fear stems from our original fear that God will not take us back, which is absolutely out of the question, because God will always and will and has taken us back. We got to wrap our head around that one, that as soon as all this madness happened and we had the thought of separation, God already had the solution, and it's already done. So that can bring a lot of comfort to us, knowing that it's over. Fear is already dissolved. We're just living in the reverb, or we're living in the echo of that. So we need to just let Holy Spirit create this world into the classroom for our forgiveness and for our letting go of that nightmarish dream. And when we're conscious of that, and we ask Holy Spirit to take over our mind, or be in charge of our day for the day, or any moment that we do forget and we do fall into fear, just remember, we always have the power to get back in that right mind, get back to Holy Spirit and say, oh, that's right, Holy Spirit's right there. I'm not afraid. I don't need to be afraid anymore. So ask Holy Spirit, what should I do in this next moment? Of course, the number one will be just hand it over. To say, Holy Spirit, I hand you over this fear, or this pain, or this separation that I'm having with my brother, and show me what's correct. And Holy Spirit, every time, will show you that love is the answer with any upset, any fear, any separation with our brothers and sisters. Jesus or the Holy Spirit will take it, turn it back around on us, and show us that we're either going to extend love to someone, or we're going to be reflected love back at us. Because when we're acting from a place of love will be reflected back at us. Not every time, because sometimes we need to be the one that's the light to someone else. But when we are extending love, that will rid the fear out of that situation absolutely every time. And it's over and over and over. And, a lot of these, from the course, standpoint, there are no small upsets. There are no bigger or smaller upsets, is what I mean. They all are stemming from that same fear. So one that seems greater is just the same as a smaller fear. It's just pretending to be many. But some of the larger fears that we might have in our life, we need to chip away at them, and it might take a little bit longer. So it seems it takes longer to let them go because they seem bigger. But believe it or not, it's undoing a lot more than just that one, because they're all the same. So if you have some sort of judgment upon a family member, a friend from the past, something that happened to you long ago that's still hurting you or burdening you, to let go of that fear. And sometimes we want to hang on to those fears because we've been so used to them, and they so deep down it feels like that's who we are in some way, that makes us who we are. And if we don't really want to let them go because the pain has made us who we are now. But the Holy Spirit wants us to hand that over also, because what we truly are is just pure love. Like the Course says, we're uncovering the blocks to love's presence. So what that means is that we are love. We are just covered with a bunch of fear, a bunch of guilt, a bunch of sadness, a bunch of upset. And we project that out and make separation with our brothers and sisters because we don't want to own that it's actually within inside of us. Now, getting back to the fear aspect and why sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to own the fact that it's stemming from us, is because sometimes, or not even sometimes, but a lot of times, some of these fears and hidden fears and subconscious fears are from other lifetimes that we have been a victim or the abuser in a situation, and it's been hidden within our psyche, and we don't remember that lifetime necessarily. I mean, there are people on the planet that do, but a lot of us don't. A lot of us have come back and we don't remember a thing from any of our lifetimes. But that's how deep the rabbit hole goes with the world of fear, is that it spans across the entire lifespan of the nightmare dream, the entire story of the nightmare dream. When we dreamt that we could be separate from God, just blew up into a million pieces of separated selves, and then became corrupted, or what Jesus would say, insane. We were hiding from God by putting ourselves in bodies, and we've created a system to forget who we are, so we don't have to necessarily own that we did it in the first place. But in God's eyes, we didn't do anything wrong. We were absolutely 100% just dreaming a dream that never was. So that should bring great relief to all of us to know that it's over. So when you're in these situations that seem horrible, and you're watching the news and terrible things are happening in front of us, and I'm not saying not to have compassion for our brothers and sisters that believe that they're in this dream, but please understand from a deeper source, the Holy Spirit has the power to usurp what is happening on the outside world. If we can find peace and love within inside of us, that extends out into the world, and we'll start waking our brothers and sisters, and that gives Holy Spirit the authority to take our mind and change it. It changes it for the better, and then it collapses the time of the nightmarish dream. It collapses the nightmare dream when we choose Holy Spirit's script instead of the ego's, because the ego's script is already done. It's so amazing. It's amazing to think that all the little things that we are looking at are just actors on a screen. we are living in a movie that we've created. But we have the power to let go of the fear, let go of the upset, let go of the anxiety. How amazing is that? That we just that simple, by asking Jesus or Holy Spirit to take over our mind, that can happen. I can only attest, or I can only say that because it's happened to me. And as I've said, it's not over for me. I still have my own lessons every day. Every day something comes up that I must hand over. But I will tell you one thing. It's not as dark and deep as it was before, and the day before, and the day before. And 10 years ago, I was so covered up I could barely see any light in the world. I had my good days, and I tried, I was a good guy. It's just inside there was something festering, and I just felt very sad. So if you're feeling that way too, guys, please know that there is a way out. And it is our wonderful adversary on the other side, Jesus, our brother, the Holy Spirit. He's the head of the Holy Spirit, the head of the atonement, and the Holy Spirit is just us on the other side, waking ourselves up. And we can call upon that at any point of the day when we have an upset, anything we see. Just say, Holy Spirit, please take this from me, show me the truth. Please hold me in this moment. Have compassion for our brothers and sisters. Send them some love. Well, anyway, guys, that's it for A Course in the Car. I hope you enjoyed this. I know this was a little bit more of a serious one, but I think it's one very important to be talking about nowadays with all the things that are going on. I also know that when I speak the truth, my truth, that I get to keep it. So I really appreciate that. If you are listening, that I know that this will extend to both of us if you hear this and it hits home with you. All right, guys, I love you very much. Peace be with you, and I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye, guys.
Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. Prepare yourself for all it's worth. Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. Prepare yourself, the last ego on earth. Prepare yourself from the dirt to the birth. Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. The last ego